Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the CWF Show, which is Conversations with Faith, with everyday people working in various careers, businesses in Nigeria and across the globe outside the country. So today will be a very special one because I'll be interviewing someone I've known for over 2 decades. We grew up in the same environment, church, and she has been able to set a niche for herself in what she does. Now, we're going to go on a very short break, and when we come back, we'll meet our guests. So stay tuned, subscribe to our YouTube channel, call your friends, family members, and whoever you think will find whatever we're going to discuss today very beneficial. And we'll be right back after this break. Thank you. Okay, welcome back. So my name is Faith Afolabi, and this is the CWF Show, which is Conversations with Faith. And you're about to meet my guest for today. Her name is Ifechukwu Adigwe, and she is a certified Master Practitioner of Neuro-linguistic programming. She's a certified performance consultant and a Master Result Coach, an Associate Family System Engineering and Certified Service Professional. She's also the author of the book, Becoming Confident You. You need to get a copy. Ifechukwu is passionate about helping people gain clarity and self-mastery that will improve their self-confidence and enable them live a more fulfilled life. And if you're here looking to live a more fulfilled life, you're in the right place. She has built over a decade experience in the financial service and telecommunications industry, and she holds a bachelor's degree in international studies from A.B.U University, Zaria, and a master's degree in public and international affairs. She is married and blessed with 3 beautiful children. Let's make welcome our guest for today. Hi. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me here. I'm so excited to be here, and it's also great to connect with you after a very, very long time. So how are you doing?
I'm good. It's me here.
Awesome.
What I love to do.
Awesome. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you so much, Ife, for accepting this invite. So our guests are excited, and they want to know how you were able to move from your career working in the telecommunications and becoming a linguistic certified coach for building self-confidence and mastery, and also a relationship coach as well. So can you tell us?
Oh, okay. So thank you so much for having me once again. Basically, my journey didn't just start as a Neurolinguistics Master Practitioner, or neither did my journey start as a family life practitioner. Everyone has a story, okay? And I'm just going to be sharing my story with you, right? So, as a person, I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur, way back from when I left school.
Wow.
And when you leave school, you live with so much dreams, you feel that, life and everything is at your beck and call. But then when life happens, okay, you begin to gain the experiences that come with life, okay? So I didn't quite start my career as an entrepreneur that I've always wanted to be. I started my career in marketing as a marketing executive. I worked as a marketing executive for about 1 year or so, and then I landed this dream job in I call it a dream job. It was more like, okay, the job had a lot of financial backings, and financial doings. So I just wanted to get my life to be better. So I just switched from being a marketing executive to working as a customer care consultant in a telecommunication firm, where I served in different position or different capacities for a period of 11 years.
Wow.
Okay, and in the course of my journey, there was a straw that broke the camel's back. The company wanted to downsize, right? And, I think it had a lot to do with cutting down on costs. And, they had to let go of some of the specialists that they had, back then. And then I was actually affected. And, having that experience, it was heartbreaking. It was challenging. It was frustrating. And at some point I felt like, I was confused. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to start, and the beautiful thing about life is that when you're on a journey, a lot of things happen, be it in your favor or against you, but they all work together for your good, right?
The blessing in disguise.
So alongside my challenge, a friend of mine introduced me to Neurolinguistics programming, which is basically a course or a study that, works to reprogram someone's thoughts, the language patterns and behavior, so that in order to be able to help them to achieve, better results. So while I was actually undergoing that particular course or program, I discovered why a lot of things had happened to me. And I realized that, the totality of who I am, can actually be traced back to, my upbringing, the significant emotional experiences I've had, just like losing my job, and some of the environmental factors. And interestingly, I began to see, that I had a lot, in me. I had a lot, to still give, even though, the sack was looking like, like a big blow, to me. I realized that, I could do more. I realized that, I could be more, I could have more, right? So it made me to become, to reinvent my life. I found out that I could achieve so much. I began to do so many things I couldn't do before. Like today, you were talking about how I authored a book, and that was something that I didn't know I could do before. I started going for speaking engagements, and then, I was speaking with your brother, interestingly, sometime, and then he was asking me, how come you moved from that shy person, and you've become so vocal? Yes, and I told him that is what happens when, you go on a journey of, personal development and self-awareness, right? So I began to see, the possibilities of me, being able to help other people to achieve the results that I have also been able to achieve. Because oftentimes we find out that a lot of people define themselves, based on the circumstances that they are experiencing. So here I was, lost my job, and then 2 years down or 3 years down the line, I'm doing so many or so much, a lot of amazing stuff, and sometimes my colleagues would call and they'll be like, we didn't see this aspect of you, before. But the truth is that this is what happens. Yes, it has always been there. But then, I didn't know I had that much, in me to give out. So, that was why I decided to go, because Neurolinguistics programming actually enables you as a practitioner, as a master practitioner. I have the tools that can actually now help me to, that can actually use, to, re-engineer people's lives so that they can be able to gain self-mastery and to also be able to, achieve results that will help them to have fulfilled lives. A lot of times I also realize that people are limited, by the way they think, right? And, there was a quote by Albert Einstein. He said that, you cannot keep on doing the same thing the same way and expect to have a different result. So for you to be able to achieve more, for you to be able to do more, for you to be able to be more, you would have to change your strategy. And this is where results coaching comes in. Okay, and performance consulting, because I'm able to now, help people to be able to, expand their mindset and channel them towards the right direction to achieve, their desired result in whatever area of their lives. And then, you also talked about family systems engineering.
Yeah.
I'm someone who has a big value on family. I love family. I love the fact that people, my dream is to have people, be able to express themselves, in that unit called family. And the truth is that once, because the family is the production factory of the society, the truth is that when you're able to raise, wholesome citizens in different family units in the society, you will find out that we would have better leaders, we would have, lesser crime rates, and then things will work better, right? So because I have a love for family, is actually, a value that I hold so dear to my heart. It made me to actually go in to actually obtain this certification. Why? Because I find out that a lot of people are doing things the wrong way. You find out that homes are breaking. You find out that people go into relationships with the wrongest reasons, and that is because they lack clarity. So you see where clarity comes in. So when people come in contact with me, they gain the clarity that they require to be able to make, better, decisions that will help them to achieve their outcomes. So the reason why I'm into coaching today is because when I started my journey, there was no clarity. Sometimes, I'm totally confused. Then back then, while I was even working, there were sometimes, I didn't have that desire or the will to even go to work, because I felt I was actually doing the wrong thing. I felt, I should have actually been in the marketing field, because I have great interpersonal skills. But for the fact that, I wanted to have more money, I went after, a career that, was not particularly what I would have, opted for. Now, was the career totally a disaster? No, because it actually helped to shape me up, right, to who I am today. Because everything that happens in your life sums up, to work for your, to connect, so it connected the dots. I gained some positive learnings in that field, but then, I'm back, right now, trying to also working to help people to be able to achieve better results. So the truth is that the reason why I'm in coaching, because I love people, I love to see people doing well. I believe that people have a lot of potentials. There's no one that is a write-off. Okay, so whatever experience that you may be going through right now, the truth is that you're going through that experience because it's actually working out for your good. It helps you to become, a better version of yourself, and it also helps people to build the strength of character. So the truth is that life will always happen.
Wow.
But what you make out of it, right, is will determine the outcome you have, be it positive or negative.
Wow.
So
a whole lot of
that's my
coming out of you, Ife. So much. Okay, so I know we have limited time for the show, but we're going to continue.
Okay.
You had said a whole lot about how you were able to discover from one thing to the other, being a certified linguistic. You found out also you love family and
linguistics program practitioner, yes,
and also certified service professional. So it's all about people, and that's why you're here. Actually, so I see you as a people's person. So while you were going through your challenges after you had left your organization,
I paid employment.
Yes, yeah. So what is that biggest challenge you faced? Was it money? Was it the fear of not being with the job? What's that biggest challenge you faced, and how did you overcome it?
Wow. When I left this job, I had a lot of mindset challenges. I started wondering what people would say, and for like almost a month, I felt shame.
Wow.
Leaving the house. I would not leave the house in the morning because I would feel like my neighbors may ask me, oh, you didn't go to work, what is going on? I had another shame, where I was thinking that people would say, oh, it's because, you were not productive or you were not performing, optimally, that was why you left your job. Then I also had this, challenge of my bills, some things I could do before that, at some point I started struggling, with being able to, service some of my bills, but thank God I have a supportive partner, who supported me throughout the journey. And I'm also grateful for, my support system, my family, who stood by me, in the midst, of the dark, periods of my life. And again, sometimes I started doubting myself. Self-doubt came in. I started wondering if I still had the capacity to be able to get something else, maybe another job. I started wondering if, maybe my life would, just end like that. So there were so many things, that was so worrisome. And I'm so grateful that I eventually was able to, find, the trainers of the, Innocent Minds, the Neurolinguistic programming, coaches that actually helped me, with tweaking my mindset, to notice that, whatever happens to me, whether bad or good, happens for a reason, and that it can actually work out for my good. So right now I'm at that point where I'm able to share my experience openly, without, feeling or restricted or thinking about what people would think. I'm at that point where, I don't have anything to hide. I'm at that point where I'm actually living, my life intentionally. I'm actually enjoying every aspect of my life. And then now I know that, I don't owe anyone any explanation. So I'm just living my authentic life and I'm happy about it.
Beautiful. So do you have mentors? And how were you able to get these mentors? Are they physical or online? So I'm sure someone wants to know.
Okay. The truth is that if you want to go find life, there's a place for mentorship. Yeah, I hear a lot of things, a lot of people will tell you what do they want to teach you, what do they want to coach you about that you don't know, but that's not particularly true. Yeah, so even as I am a coach now, I have a coach, right? So every coach has a coach, right? So I have mentors, who I have physical mentors, right? People who I discuss, with. I also have business mentors. I have coaching mentors, right? So in my family life practice, I have mentors who I also look up to, who also guide me, who I share my ideas with. Now, I don't know if you know that I'm also an entrepreneur right now.
Yes,
okay. I did
whom we guys, you need to get that stuff in the wardrobe. I'm sure we'll leave details.
Yes. So basically, I have business coaches who have been in the business for maybe like over 20 years, some 15 years. So sometimes when I want to do something, I still get to, rub minds with them. They will actually guide me. So what do mentors actually do? They actually help you to ride on their shoulders, right? And actually help you also to prevent some of the mistakes that they made. Okay, they will help you not to make the same mistake twice. So they serve as a guide, okay, for you, be it in your private life, be it in your family life, be it in your career. Okay, so the truth is that everybody needs a mentor. And then I also have people who I call my mentors, people who I met with their books or probably their messages, and my life keeps on evolving, and I keep on getting light bulb moments, right? So I love people like Lisa Nichols. I don't know if you know her. Mm-hmm. She's a motivational speaker. Okay. And then she actually had her own dark moments, right? So I'm able to connect my story with her, and a lot of times she inspires me to do more. Okay, so I read her books. I listen to her almost every day. Wow. I also listen to Oprah Winfrey. Yes. I listen to Les Brown. I listen to a lot of messages. Yes, and if I want to bring it back home, I love Fela Durotoye. Yeah, I also listen to him, every now and then. So the truth is that if you want to go far, you want to actually be able to notice what your vision is. You want to notice, what results that you want to achieve. You want to begin to ask yourself, what are there people who have achieved this result that I want? Because if you notice in the Bible, it says that there's nothing new under the sun. So whatever you want to do right now, somebody else may have achieved it, right? So what you want to do as someone who wants to, achieve more, or who wants to achieve his dreams, you want to find out people that have done the same thing, or people who are producing that kind of results, and then you want to also have them mentor you. Now, when you talk about mentorship, some mentorship are paid mentorships. Some of them are mentorship that you actually come about, probably based on maybe seminars or books, or people that you have great relationship with. So the truth is that mentorship is something that everyone should embrace.
Okay, amazing, guys. Yeah. This is good stuff here. So we're going to go on a very short break. When we come back, we'll take the last 2 questions and we'll call it a day. So subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on all our social media handles on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. Stay tuned. Bye. Welcome back from that short break, and you are speaking with me, Faith Afolabi, the host of the CWF Show, which is Conversations with Faith, and my guest today is Ifechukwu Adigwe, a Neuro-linguistic coach and a coach for family engineering, and also a service professional, and she's also an entrepreneur and a wonderful mom. So she's so much more than you can imagine. So you're wondering, okay, I'm working, I can't start a business, how do I do it? So let's say you're working, right? You're working on a paid employment, and you also want to do your business. How can you merge the two together?
Okay. One thing I've actually come to realize from experience is that, is one thing to want to do something, is another thing to actually have the will to do it. Right? So you are in that paid employment, you want to also appreciate the fact and be grateful that you're actually in an establishment where someone is actually championing the vision of that company. So one thing you want to do as a person in the paid employment is to come in and show up 100%. Now you're working in that organization like you're working for yourself. That's one thing you want to do, because the more you're able to show up 100%, the more you realize that you're becoming good at what you're doing. Right? Now, when you want to talk about business, you want to ask yourself, what exactly do I want to do? What business do I want to start? And you're starting that business not because, you just want to make money. You want to ask yourself, what value can I give? What is my personality, right? And, what can I offer? What is my experience? What is my interest? Because a lot of times people go into business without having prior knowledge of the business that they want to go into. People go into business, just for the mere fact that other people are doing it. So you want to find out your why of wanting to get into that business. Right? And then when you're now in, you want to start that business while you're still in paid employment, you want to also be able to have a research, do a proper survey, okay, or market research about the business that you want to go into. You may also want to find out from people who are already doing the business how they're getting at it. Because the truth is that you can do a market survey, you can have all the plans in your head, but then the application, right, is totally, a different ball game. So you want to be sure, okay, on what you want to do. You want to be sure of why you want to go into that business, and you also want to be able to do a market survey. And then you also want to marry it in such a way that is not something that you begin to do and then your paid employment begins to suffer.
That's true.
Right? So you want to be able to, do it in such a way that, the both of it, everybody, there's a balance. No aspect of, your life as a career or business is actually struggling. So it's actually a huge one, but it is doable, because the truth is that everybody needs multiple streams of income to survive. But then you want, before, a lot of times you hear people saying, oh, I want to be on my own. I want to come down from my paid employment. I want to resign. But before you tender your resignation, you want to be clear, okay, on what you want to be do. You want to be sure that you have actually done the survey, okay, and you want to be sure that it is something that you can do, so that you don't just jump out of your paid employment and then you begin to wonder, like, oh, how did I get here? You're not doing business because the other person is doing business. You're doing business because it is something that you want to do, right? So you want to be sure that this is exactly what you want to do, and you want to put things in place so that even when you're leaving your paid employment, there's some kind of soft landing, because entrepreneurship is not a walk in the park.
No.
Now, the way it works is that if you don't work, you will not eat. As against when you're working and then you know that on the 22nd or a designated that your salary will be paid. It doesn't work that way. You have to go under the sun. You have to work hard, okay, for you to be able to earn your money. And then you have to be able to have that resilience, okay, that even when you fail at some of, your businesses, you will bounce back. And if I want to start telling you about this journey, if I tell you that I've actually dealt with, I started when I came out from, when I was, I lost my job, I used to have a lot of backache. Wow. So based on that, I decided to go into physio, all these massage equipment, physiotherapy equipment. And guess what? It didn't work for me. Why? Because I went into a business that I had no clue about. I just read, I just got knowledge of some of those equipments. But till today, I have some of those equipments still with me. So at the end of the day, I didn't succeed in that particular business because I had little knowledge, of what I was going into, and I didn't quite do a proper market survey to notice that, oh, these are an XYZ, or these are the things that is required for me to actually be able to succeed in that business. Now, because I failed in that business, does it now mean that everybody's failing? No. There are people who are doing that physiotherapy equipment and they're doing very well, but then they have, the know-how to be able to do it. So you want to be sure that, you have the knowledge. And one thing I want to say, if it is one thing you want to leave this meeting with, is to notice that sometimes, it looks as if everything is not clear. For you to start a business, you just want to start. You just want to, take action. If you want to have everything to be in place before you start that business, you may not start that business, right? So you want to actually, step up, and then everything will begin to unfold. A lot of people we see today, Coscaris, The Young Shall Grow, Richard Branson, a lot of them have stories. Okay, so as a business person, you will experience a lot of failures, but your ability to bounce back is what actually builds your resilience muscles.
Amazing.
Yes.
You just took out the last words I was going to say, but you're still going to give someone who wants to be Ifechukwu Adigwe. What's the last words for that person? And we'll call it today.
Wow. I can only say that if you want to be Ifechukwu Adigwe, you will fail at it because there's only one Ifechukwu Adigwe, right?
Yeah.
But then if you want to have the achievements that, some of the achievements that Ifechukwu Adigwe, has achieved, now it is possible. All you need to do is just to believe in yourself. All you need to do is just to believe that it is possible. I'm someone who is a lot self-motivated. I believe in God. I believe that, if I show up, things will work for me. So you want to be able to tell yourself that whatever you want to do, that you can achieve it. If there are people who have achieved that particular thing you want to achieve, it is possible. Then again, I want to also encourage you to invest in personal development. Now, a lot of times in this part of the world, I notice that people downplay, personal development, but you can only be better at what you do. You can only become the best version of yourself when you invest heavily in yourself. Now, is it an easy journey? No. There's sometimes I'll sit in, I have to study for hours, I have to write for tests, I have to go for exams. I'm still training myself to be more, and to do more and to have more. There's sometimes I have to go into the supermarkets and I'm talking to customers, and people begin to say, "Oh, madam, are you the one that is here?" I'm like, yes, because it is my vision. It is my dream. When it is your vision, when it is your dream, you have to be willing to go the extra mile for that vision to work. So for you to achieve what you want to achieve in life, it is not going to be so easy. But then you keep showing up, you keep giving in your 100%. You take away shame, remove that shame cap and keep it somewhere. The truth is that you are going somewhere.
Yeah.
And when you become successful, everybody begins to celebrate you, but nobody knows the process. For you to be who you are, you must put in so much work in the process so that your finished good can, actually speak for you. So that's one thing I want to say. Be encouraged, put in the hard work, believe in God, and don't be limited in your thinking. Have a positive attitude and believe that you can. The truth is that whatever you think you are much more than that.
Okay, wow. Thank you so much for so much insights that you have passed on to us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Wow, you have to keep going. Guys, you need to replay this. If you're just joining on, please go back, rewind, and sit down with your popcorn, ice cream, wine, whatever you need, and pay attention to our guest for today. It's been mind-blowing. You can do it from whatever point you find yourself. Either you're working now or you're out of your paid employment. You can become who you want to be. Just believe in yourself. Put in the work, put in the efforts. You can see the different courses that she had to go through. It wasn't easy. She has 3 children, she's married, so she has other things she's fending for. But here she is, she's doing it, and you too can. And that's why we're here to inspire you to do something that can change your world. So thank you guys for staying in. Thank you, Ife, for coming. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Thank you so much.
On all our social media platforms, and we'll be back next week for another episode of CWF Show. And from me is the bride.